अच्छा लगा आपकी आपको देखा।
Vanakkam people, welcome all of you, and extremely happy to see all the lovely people this evening. Thank you so much for joining in and making this evening special for all of us. Uh, for those of you who don't know me or may not know me, my name is Sriram, and I'm part of the ICF Chennai Charter Chapter board, and I serve as thank you, Abhridhar, sir. And I serve the board as director for conferences and events. Before we move on, like always, would love to know where are you joining us from and how are you feeling right now? Please use the chat box and let us know. It would be nice to hear your points. Please feel free to use the chat box and let us know where are you joining in from and how are you feeling. Yes, nice, feeling great. Hi Raj, welcome. Good to see you after a long time. Hi Krishnan. Nice. We have Anupama from Pune. Hi Anu. Yes, of course, the speakers from Lucknow. Nice, nice. Wonderful to see all you people. And to start with, on behalf of the board of ICF Chennai Charter Chapter, I would like to take this opportunity to wish each of the lovely women on this group a very happy Women's Day. And of course, all the women in your life as well. Wishing all of them a very, very happy Women's Day. Celebrating women is always special. Women are extremely unique. I'm sure all of us agree with that. Their ability to understand, their ability to empathize, challenge people, fight, protect, and of course, the ability to multitask is something that's truly amazing. Celebrating their success is also always special. Not because they do things different. I mean, do different things, but I think they always do things very differently. Their success stories also seem to be always something that encourages and motivate. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who agree with this, or is it the rest of you as well? But today, of course, we're going to hear another success journey from two amazing people. I'm super excited because they're someone I know for a very long time. They're very special in many ways for me than one. I'm super happy and excited to have our speakers for this evening. And okay, sorry, Mitu, I just realized that it should be someone like you, someone special like you, who should be doing the introduction. So let me not take that away from you. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mitu, our director for marketing and communications. She's going to be the host for the evening. So over to you, Mitu. All yours.
Thank you, Sriram. Good evening, everyone, and happy Women's Day once again to those who have not wished. The world needs strong women like Priyanka and Payal and many of us here. Women who will uplift and build others and who will love and be loved, who can take action and lead with courage. So, today, as we celebrate International Women's Day, our focus, the theme for today is accelerating action, breaking barriers, seizing opportunities, and how we can shape the future of business with women entrepreneurship. I'm thrilled once again to be joined by Priyanka and Payal, two incredible entrepreneurs who've not just built business but have transformed challenges into stepping stones for success. I'll give a brief introduction and then we'll move on to hear from them. Starting with Payal. Payal is a professional certified coach with ICF, having 17 plus years in learning and development, has trained 5,000 professionals globally. She's the co founder of Wings Team. She empowers individuals through coaching and sustainable living advocacy. She's an author of 3 books. She blends leadership training, NLP expertise, and creativity to derive transformation. Payal has coached and supported people from all walks of life in finding fulfillment and in achieving their goals. Now, I'll be talking about Priyanka. Priyanka is an NLP life coach, PCC ICF certified. She empowers people to unlock their potential. With 8,000 plus hours of training, she has worked across industries, guiding professionals, students, and entrepreneurs. A psychology graduate, certified trainer, and co founder of Wings Team, she specializes in transformational coaching and leadership development. An entrepreneur and army brat, she connects across cultures, advocating personal growth and mindfulness. Payal and Priyanka, we would like to hear about your journey now. So let's begin with something that often goes unnoticed but is truly a game changer. So, every entrepreneur faces hurdles, but for women, some challenges are deeply ingrained in the system. So, from finding gaps to societal expectations, there's a lot to navigate and we can discover. So, I'd like to you to type in the chat boxes what is the most underestimated superpower of women in business? Shriram, if you could please type out this question in the chat box. What is the most underestimated superpower of women in business? That is the question from Payal and Priyanka. Please keep the answers coming, and I shall start with my first curious question to both of them. They say the great journey starts with a single step, but that first step is often the most hardest, and people step back from taking that first step. So, Priyanka and Payal, what was the moment when you decided to take this leap into entrepreneurship? Was it a calling? Was it an opportunity, or something else entirely? Over to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much, Meetu. With Payal's permission, I'm going to take the mic here and share our thoughts, share our journey here. So before we even begin, I really want to thank all of you for sparing your time and Shriram for inviting us, Meetu for supporting us till now so beautifully. I think it was, excuse me, it really wasn't just one moment. So, Payal and I, both of us army brats, both of us army wives, and I don't know if is there anyone here who's had an experience with the forces? Knows anybody in the army or like, yeah. So, you probably also know that how most of us are like living in really far-flung areas where the only option for a lady who's married into the army is either teach in that particular station or maybe even leave the station and go back and go to some tier 1 city and work there. So it's always a choice between the family or your own work or just teach in that station. So and both Payal and I we'd been through our own journeys, our own very 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 thankful to the army for all that it has taught us, but I think both of us also had a little bit of desire to do more, to really extend ourselves in more productive ways. And I remember, do you remember this, Payal? Many, many years back, 14 years back, we were sitting in this beautiful place called Wellington near Ooty. And lucky for us, right there, Nilgiri is right very close by in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu. And both of us sat and thought that what do we really want? Because it wasn't just us who were facing that kind of frustration. I think we saw that all around us. A lot of armed forces wives, not just the army, navy, air force, paramilitary, that they had the potential, they had the desire, but not the opportunity to work. And that's when Payal and I decided that we wanted to become a platform for the armed forces fraternity, from where women could just sort of, we say, leap off from, take wings. So our organization is called Wings Team. When we started, it started as an acronym for us. I remember Payal and I sitting, over cups of coffee and saying, what do we need to call ourselves? So it was actually Women in Need of Grander Success. WINGS, Women in Need of Grander Success. And I think over the years, it's been beautiful for us that we've been able to create a network of professionals who, I would say, directly or indirectly, almost 100% of them are connected to the armed forces. So now, in 14 years back, work from home, COVID hadn't struck, work from home wasn't the norm. And that is when we thought that, okay, let us become the platform, let us grab the projects and let these ladies, whether they are in Lalgarh Jatta or Lekhapali, wherever they are posted. I bet, has anybody heard of these? Lekhapali or Lalgarh Jatta. So yeah, wherever they are, let them deliver the project from there so that they feel that much more productively employed. So that's how it all started. It really was, it wasn't just one incident, I think, to answer your question. Yes, Beena going to Anu. So Anupama Pradhan, hi Anu, and she's also another fellow army wife
Char Bhatia.
and army brat. So the whole that's how it all started. I think it was just something like like a build up to it. And Pyle and I were very lucky that our energies sort of the space of Wellington, our energies put together, and just the circumstances that it happened so beautifully that we were able to launch Wings Team with a core belief that together we fly higher. So yeah, Payal, would you want to add something?
So I think that's pretty much it. Just that initially, like Priyanka's mentioned, it was women in need of grander success. So the thought was also not to negate the success women already have, being a housewife, being a daughter, being a wife, all the roles that we play. They give us a certain sense of success. This was just adding on to it to give them that professional satisfaction, so to say. So just that, I think rest you've covered.
So
Thank you.
grander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Payal and Priyanka, for adding that. And it's such a beautiful acronym. I think I'll never forget like what wing stands for now, and it's so beautifully you appreciated the presence of every woman, like whether it's sister, even our house helps, right, they are doing, but what is it that we do for grander success. So very beautifully expressed, thank you. And once we start, the next challenge is craving out a space, right, already like jutting out and telling that, oh, I'm here. So the next question would go to you, Payal. From your experience, what is the biggest challenge women entrepreneurs face today, and how have you tackled it?
Thanks, Meetu. This is something I think each woman present here would be jumping in her seat to answer this. So, yeah, so we have our unique challenges, I would say. And though the men also experience a lot of challenges, not to take that away from them, because entrepreneurs, whether our entrepreneurship is not gender based, but women being the home keepers for the conditioning of the society, so we have to balance the home front with the work. So things like networking, if there's a after office late night thing happening, women have to think twice on how to, and if it's too many of them, then they have to think a lot of times then how to manage that. I also feel that sometimes men get the projects much easier because of the travel thing or safety issues that we have in India. If there's a remote place that one needs to travel to, the client would automatically choose a man. And somewhere about the funding also, I feel the fundings are much more easily given out to the males than to the females. In every sphere, I think we have to work that much harder. Balancing home is just a part of it. And more or less, I would say I found networking and traveling to distant places being the main challenge in some of the projects. Like I remember in our initial days, the plants are right off the major production manufacturing plants are off the cities. They're 5-6 hours into the state, and there were two of us. We could travel, and I used to often wonder, if it's a single woman, I mean, she's to travel all alone, would it be safe in our country to really do that? So that was a major concern. And networking, I do feel that both of us have not been able to really do the late nights or the very early mornings because of the children being at home, sending them to schools. Also, being 4G wives, we were posted at places that would require that much of time to commute to the place. So these challenges have been there. And having said that, I would also say that some extra work at connecting with people, at reaching out to people, that has helped. There are places that we've lost out on, but there are places where women, like specifically for senior leader women coaching, they prefer women. So there is also an advantage to it. So it's persistence. I think Priyanka had written in the chat box persistence. So persistence, which will win the game at the end of it.
That was very nicely expressed. I'll not say that it's an eye opener, because many of the challenges, most of us are aware of that. It's just that it's not talked about very often. And that's a reality many women experience. And yet, despite these challenges, what truly makes a difference is how we respond to them. Like you said, how you dealt with it. And then let's talk about resilience. So, setbacks are inevitable, but the difference between stagnation and acceleration lies in how we deal with them. So, Priyanka, this one I'm throwing at you. When faced with setbacks, what helps you accelerate action? When you hit roadblocks in your journey, what keeps you moving forward and the team accelerate action?
Um, I think one core belief that there is nobody who hasn't had a setback. Like even Elon Musk has had a setback. So I think setbacks are just understanding that they are just. There's a metaphor that I've always tried to use in my head, and I think Pilo also agrees. I don't know if any one of you have ever played with dinky cars, or those cars that you pull back and they go zzz, they move ahead. So that's the thought that always comes to me whenever I think of a setback. And it's not that when the oh lovely, I like that, I'm gonna remember this,
Lovely one.
setbacks are setups. Yes, so you set back can actually become a setback for you to launch and in a beautiful way. I think personally speaking, with in our journey, I think what is also interesting is every time there was a setback, and yeah, there were setbacks like us having our clients not paying us, or us having negotiated in a like the worst rates, or
Postings, moves,
just
army
yeah,
operations.
we are taking up a project and being unable to deliver it, just not have, for whatever reasons the circumstances may be, maybe even investing in certain other small, just to branch out into newer businesses and realizing no, it's not working for us. I think what has been most beautiful for both Payal and me is to realize that a setback just means it's time to reroute. Like it's Google Maps, right? If you hit a roadblock, automatically the Google Map is going to say, okay, it might give you add a few minutes to your journey, but it'll still get you where you want to go. So I think that's been nice. So one I would say to really put it concisely, yes, to that reframing it in the head that it's not a setback but a setup, and secondly, I think another thing is the fact that the two of us were at it together. So I think if one of us was kind of feeling low, the other one was able to pull the other one up. So I think that just keeps happening. And there are times in our life that it's not about work, but we've had personal setbacks in life. We've lost family members, we've had challenges, our children have gone through certain stages, but it's just been beautiful that and it's not only between us, it's the entire Wings team community, that we understand things will happen. It's a given, it's a presupposition, that it will happen. So it's about how each one can really lift the other and step in. So I think, and that's probably our USP. Yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, yes, definitely. And how, like, it was inspiring to see, like, we have all heard of that quote. If you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. So
Yeah.
it's so beautiful to hear from you that, how you, your team, like, keep inspiring each other and uplifting each other. And we got such wonderful phrases for the
Yeah.
reframing of setbacks, set up, reroute, and if anything has come up, I'm not sure.
Yeah, work with renewed energy.
Yes,
Thank you,
Yes.
Amrendra.
So, and it's incredible how the right mindset and strategies can turn obstacles into
absolutely.
stepping stones. So, let's go ahead with this. So, Payal, from mentorship to mindset and financial support, networking, there might be many accelerators, right, that can fast track the success. So, which of these accelerators would impact your entrepreneurial journey and why? And this, any of you can answer. I'm just going one by one. I consider you as one entity, but I'm just naming one of you.
Actually, you're right, Meetu. We have over the years, I think, merged into being one entity. So, to answer your question, which accelerator? I would definitely, for me, from my side, I don't know what Priyanka thinks about this, but from my side, it's networking. It's networking. Both of us coming coming from armed forces background, we had no idea of a business. We had no business plan. We did not know how to go about it. In fact, we did not even have a corporate background when we started. So we did not know the jargon, and we would just write down whatever the person said, come back and talk to somebody and understand it. So from there to where we are now, with a community of over 200 women and other men with us, of course, I think networking, if we could leverage it at a premium, if we could do more of it, if we could, not constrained in that, because now I think we have attained a certain level of expertise. We have qualified ourselves. So I think that is what I feel at this stage our organization requires. What about you, Priyanka? What's your thought?
I would go with funding.
I knew it.
Okay, so you want to go ahead, add something more
No,
to
no,
it,
no,
Priyanka?
no, no. I'm good.
So networking and funding, I think while external support is very crucial, I think the most powerful shift happens within our own minds, right? And the one thing I'd like to appreciate in front of everyone before moving ahead, that one, how you face that setback. Priyanka was down with a really bad throat when I called her. She was not even able to speak. And Payal, like someone in the family, was critically ill, and thankfully they are better now. So how they came in, and they are all smiling and present here in spite of those challenges right now. So thank you for that. I'd like to appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Meetu.
So they say that success is 80% mindset and 20% strategy, right? The way we think directly influences what action we are going to take. So Priyanka, what would be the number one mindset shift that can help women accelerate their success? If you had to pick one of all, then what could help women to accelerate, and would it be according to you?
So while this is going to be a huge generalization, right? It is purely just my own view, but I think a lot of women second guess themselves, their own potential. They say, they are not sure. And I heard some years back, I heard somebody say it to me, and it's become like a big mantra right in front of me. The saying of Saint Nike, just do it. So I think when I think about that, the Nike company and their logo, their tagline, I think it really really makes that's the mindset that I think I would and so many times I know I struggle with it as well, and I think that's where I want to step in myself. I want to absorb it fully. That just do it. Hoga, just do it. So I think that's what it would be for me. Payal, what about you?
Similar. In fact, there is a saying which I found on, I don't know, one of the social media platforms. Just a simple, not even a saying, it is not even a quote. It just says, actually, I can. And that I've got on my phone. So I remember the first time I ran my first half K also. Marathon was also, actually I can. Whenever I'm stuck, like she said, just do it. Actually I can. That's the biggest mindset shift. I'm sure men also second guess themselves, but I think the doubt in us women is much greater somehow. We need validation at every step of our lives. I don't know why, that is through the conditioning of the society or something. And everybody I see around me. So I think what
I'm going to
Priyanka
add
said,
something
just do
here.
it.
I'm going to add something here, Payal, with your permission here, that I think what is also beautiful, and I know even she notices this, that I'm hoping it's true, that the younger generation today, and we are talking like we are on the wrong side of 50, both of us, but or maybe it's the right side. It's the
It's the
right
right side
side
of
of
50,
50,
wrong side of
because
40.
yeah, and but I think what is beautiful to see is the younger professionals, the younger women today are have a lot more grit in them, and I think that's I know we feel so inspired by the younger teammates that we have. So
Yeah.
many times when we hit a roadblock, we say, okay, come on, you tell us what you think, and they'd be able to open new windows for us. So I think it's changing.
Absolutely. With you.
This was such an important shift, Priyanka, because many a times we hear, what the next generation is not. And
Yeah.
here it's about learning from a different generation rather than saying that, what is wrong about them. And we got such good phrases again, like, just do it, can. can do attitude. And I read something, dare to dream and determination, right?
Great
And
one.
I remember some tagline, if she can do it, so can you, something,
Yeah.
or he can do it. Like it's like, that NLP resourceful.
Yeah. If
Somebody.
anyone can do it, then anyone can do it.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a great fan of NLP, and when I saw that in your bio, like I was like very excited, and so that's like, but even with the right mindset and all of that, there are still barriers that hold women back, and I would like to talk about that. So, despite having the talent, drive, ambition, most women find themselves held back. Sometimes it is external factors, sometimes, as you said, Payal, internal doubts. So, this question I'll put it to you only. What's the biggest factor which is holding women back from accelerating action?
I really have started thinking now, Meetu, is that women do think that they don't deserve it all. Internally, we do think we don't deserve it. If we just have that mindset shift that, yes, I am as important as every other member in the family, and I deserve my success as much as anybody else in the family. If we can just do that tweak in here, everything works out. It's ecological with everybody. If we learn to, we are our own grave diggers. We cut ourselves down without even, we presume things a lot. We women are a lot in our own minds. We would not talk it out with everybody, but we would presume so much. And if we could just learn to set boundaries, everything falls in place. Our mentor, Priyanka, Shriram's mine, Ashlesh Rao, he says something which has really,
Johnny, Anu,
Johnny also, yes, of course. And I'm not sure how many others here.
Anupama.
Anupama, how could I forget Anu? And when we started our journey with him, like ages back, he said something was, be absolutely stubborn about you, that you are not giving in to excuses, even to the extent of, I know that we've taken client calls from the washrooms, from the parking places, from God knows where all. We've taken our classes with him from. So we have to be very, very stubborn about our growth. I'm not saying we have to cause feuds in the family. We don't have to be there for people. Everything will work out if our intention is in the right place and we just decide for ourselves that we're as important as anybody else. I think that's it for me. What about you, Priyanka?
Quite similar. I think that I again would say it's the self doubt. Coming back to that only, that we second guess ourselves, and that's probably the biggest challenge. Not only in the entrepreneurial journey, we second guess ourselves. Second, many times I know I'm going to speak for myself. I have second guessed myself when I'm cooking a dish, when I'm, even the smallest things that we tend, it's been a journey to step away from that, to say I'm okay, or like I'm enough, I'm okay, I'm good. Self love and all those things that they seem pretty cliched, but I think self worth is probably one of the most important gifts that we can give ourselves, and it's probably the longest journey to reach there, and that's the job that we have to do while we are here on this planet.
That's so nice to hear. Both, like, how we can craft our own. I can say, when you're talking this, I'm thinking about the inner voice, how we talk to ourselves. Of course, it's not limited to just women. It's about men too, and how we see ourselves also, not how we hear ourselves, how we see ourselves, and like when you talk about worth, how we feel about our own selves. So that is such a crucial point. And overcoming these barriers, it's not like just push harder, it's like equipping ourselves, with the tools and techniques in different ways, not just about a particular modality, but just like what we can do with what we have. So there's a saying that every obstacle carries within it the potential of an opportunity. It's like how we choose to see and act on it. So, Priyanka, how would you turn obstacles into opportunities for this accelerated action?
Interesting.
And if you could share an example, like from your life, like how did you turn that obstacle into a reason for growth?
Okay, I think it's making me think, and there's a lot of buzz in that inner voice is really buzzing right now because I have so many different thoughts. but I'm just going to pull out one of them and give it voice. That many like when I said when we were in Wellington, both Payal and I had given up. I was running another business in Gurgaon. She was handling an entire institution in Greater Noida, and how both of us had given that up to come back into to our families, like to come back home. And we were in this small place, and I think at that point in time, if you think about an obstacle, somebody might say, what kind of an obstacle can you think in Wellington? I mean, it's heaven. But in a way, the obstacle there was that both of us had an aspiration to work, and there really was nothing. Like on hills, like what can you do? And I remember Payal and I sitting together and thinking over cups and cups of coffee, driving out. We'll go park under a tree and then say, what should we do? So it was an obstacle because there was nothing. It was almost like a process of elimination. We thought of Payal's going to giggle when I say this, but we even thought of, let's do a mehendi art thing. Let's try and put up a stall of mehendi art, do something at least here. But I think it was beautiful that given that it's like Google, right? Rerouting. So we thought we'll do this. We thought we'll set up saris, like a saris business. We thought we'd do set up some teaching business with little children and stuff. But every time when we felt that there was a block, we actually realized that there was an entire, the only thing common what does the Nilgiris have? The Nilgiris has a lot of hotels and restaurants. It has a lot of schools, and it has one industry, one factory. That's it in the Nilgiris. And we cracked our head, literally scratched our heads till we, literally came up with one answer, that what's the common factor in all of, what's that one door that we can probably like just push it open. And we realized it's probably training, and that's how we started. So I would say it was an obstacle, but every time we met an obstacle, the good thing with our journey together was that we kept trying to look for another window, another door, another opportunity. Finally, here's where we are.
Payal, you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of two examples. When you said share examples, there's something she hasn't thought of, but I call her the idea machine that we have. So she was posted to Ahmednagar, which is Maharashtra, a small little army station. Again, no scope of many clients there. It's just a small little army station there with a small bazaar. So it was always like, how do we meet people? How do we get clients? And she was traveling back from Pune, and she saw this big billboard. And there, Priyanka, you want to say what was written?
It was a billboard that talked of I love Nagar, NGR. It's called Ahmednagar is called Nagar, and it was done by this didn't know there was this industrialist who was there. His name is Narendra Firodia, and somewhere that name was written, and so we just made the connect that okay, if it's Firodia, he loves Nagar, he must be in Nagar, so let's look for something here. And one thing led to another, and then
So I'll take over because she's underplaying this a bit. So she took a shot of that. She took a click of that billboard, and there his number was given, and that's how she connected with him. She connected with him saying that I'm also in Nagar, and I would just like one small meeting with you. So that obstacle of being in a remote place turned out to be an opportunity for us. So that was a huge. It was a nice one that time. And then, of course, another thing was that as women in the army can teach, we have a lot of qualified educators. So the content arm just developed from there. Having people all over India is such a huge opportunity that we have content creators and trainers now all over India. So though it's an obstacle that everybody is in a very small place, everybody is remote, it just turned out to our advantage. We can say that we can provide training anywhere in India. So
That's such an incredible example of resilience, and kind of like we can think about it in this way that we can never underestimate the power of even a small
yes,
obstacle or a big obstacle. Anything can be hiding behind that. So get to the power of the positive intention behind that situation. Every time, I don't know why I get to draw parallels, right? Every time that's how I connect, and it's so inspiring to see Priyanka's is from Lucknow. She said, we say pehle aap, like, you keep passing the baton on to Priyanka and she to you. And but here, no, gaadi chut nahi rahi hai. Like we say, the train is not leaving. Like you are complementing each other. So that is just beautiful to watch. So moving on, here I'll discuss because we have many coaches over here. So I'd like to discuss about something related to coaching also. So in coaching and entrepreneurship, they both require a unique voice and a distinct identity. So in a world where there are all experts, how do you stand out? So Payal, I'll put this to you. How did you carve out your unique niche, and what advice do you have for coaches looking to differentiate themselves in this growing industry?
So, like you said, Meetu very rightly said, the experts in abundance out there. So there has to be something different. So what we believe in is giving added value, a lot of added value, I would say. And be it your entrepreneurship journey or be it your relation. So carving out relationships with people, I've seen with even our coaches, you can just stand out if the coachee feels that the session just doesn't end in those 90 minutes or 60 minutes. There is something beyond it, something between the sessions. So I would say just that coaching from the heart, being passionate about, I'm sure all of us coaches, all of us do the same. And that's how we are recommended. Word of mouth happens only if we deliver more than the promise. And as far as the niche is concerned, if you really want to carve out a niche, I think it's what you're passionate about after the session. After which session do you feel most fulfilled? So is it with executives? Is it with homemakers? Is it with sports people? Who do you feel most fulfilled about coaching? So I think that is the niche that defines you. And there are various methods people follow to find out their niche. But for me, I think it has always been about creating a relationship rather than just the coaching session and coaching from the heart. That's how I think. I hope I stand out. Actually, I don't know whether I do, but I just hope I do. And that's been my this thing. Priyanka?
I think that's been the hardest question for me to answer for myself. What is my niche? And like many things in my life, I think very organically I find myself just veering in one direction. And I think like as an advice to people, I think would be just to answer those questions that, like Payal said, what makes you come alive? What makes you? What is an area that you feel like that from the deepest core you actually have a feeling you connect with that particular problem area, not just the audience but even the problem area. Like if there are sleep coaches and there are success coaches and result oriented coaches, and it's a lot of, I think it's also a lot about branding. It is not only that a sleep coach cannot help you with a relationship, but I think my struggle has been to find my own niche and present myself as that. But I think the sooner one does it, the better it is. It grabs eyeballs. I mean, from that perspective, because finally, at the end of it, I think when a coach is in conversation with their client, I don't think it really matters what's coming up. I know most of us coaches are trained to give value fully, to be present fully, to completely be on the listening mode, actually listen to what is not being said. And given the ICF, what it has taught us, it doesn't matter what they are at. I bet even a leadership coach can help somebody who's struggling with their own teenager. So, but yes, I think for the purposes of branding and when you're launching your business, it's a very smart thing to do. And I feel you don't have to be married to it. You could be a sleep coach and you could be a leadership coach as well.
Thank you. That's nice to listen. And, because when I am also struggling at times, what is my niche? So it's very comforting to listen to what your thoughts are on this. And this is such a valuable advice, what makes you come alive, what makes you feel fulfilled, and coaching from the heart. So even maybe the most confident of the entrepreneurs might face some moment of doubt. So it's all right. That is what my takeaway is. So, would you like to do the breakout room activity now that we are almost nearing towards the end of the session? And shall I read out the question, or would you like?
Continue. Do you want to open up for questions? Maybe then we'll probably do the breakout. Or do you think that would be a good idea?
Yeah.
We have some people, and we're just about 10 minutes before we close. So maybe we can take some questions. Payal, Priyanka, if that's okay for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is time for the audience to please use this opportunity to ask any questions that you may have. Please engage. We have at least another 5-7 minutes left. Anyone would love to use this opportunity? Geeta has a question. Geeta, would you want to unmute and ask, or do you want me to read it for you?
Yeah, it's okay. I can ask.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Hi, Payal and Priyanka. It's a wonderful session. Thank you for sharing your inspiring stories. For a women entrepreneur, we have a lot of challenges. We spoke about it. We saw, and but in this constantly evolving, market, how do you keep your business pitch relevant and unique? You spoke about the value a few minutes ago. For each of the projects which you handle, how do you ensure you bring your own unique USP or keep it relevant?
Priyanka, you want to answer?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say something.
Yeah.
Geeta, right? I'm sorry, I can't
Yeah.
see you, Geeta. So, Geeta, just an inside information. We have a folder called Wings Team Profiles, and it has probably like, I don't know, 17 different profiles there.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep, I think it's a constant updating. It's a constantly, so they would be, you don't want to offer something to a client what they don't even need. So I think the most important thing is to understand what they need and then check whether it's in, you have those resources, and can you, in your arsenal, do you have that? Can you serve them? Or, and if not, just get that resource, and tweak your presentation. I mean, you got to talk to them so that you're answering their question pretty much. So we have many versions of our profiles, our business pitch, our conversations. Payal and I used to uh, Payal and I used to do mock conversations when we started out. That when the client is going to ask us a difficult question, what are you going to say? And we were mean to each other then. We were not good clients. So we'd play act all of that so that we felt a little bit more comfortable uh, with being able to think on our feet and change direction as per what the client was seeking. Payal, your thought?
Yeah. So, Geeta, pretty much like give the client what they're looking for. If you have a standard profile for everybody, it's not going to speak to everybody. And secondly, like you asked about the value, Geeta. So, I'm sure everybody does this. So it's just checking on them between the sessions, adding probably something from something you've read, sharing some video, some quotation, some book that might be of value. So I had a system with my coaches, whoever were interested in books. On their birthdays, I would gift them a small book which was relevant to whatever they were looking for. With your training clients, you could probably have a WhatsApp group for 30 days. That might, or whatever's convenient to you. You also have to see whatever you can handle. It should not get overwhelming for self also.
Mm.
I hope that answers what you're looking for.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you,
I'm
Geeta, for that.
curious,
Sorry,
may I
Priyanka,
ask,
go ahead.
Geeta, what is it that you do?
I'm an aspiring coach. I'm on my PCC path. So that's why, today's topic is very apt for me, women entrepreneur. I mean, I have this in mind, like Meetu rightly pointed out. It's always the first step. It's very difficult. We always step back, taking that first step. So you can say I'm in that position. So a lot of lessons learned, and thank you for sharing your wonderful experience.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Geeta.
Geeta.
Thank you, Geeta. We have a question from Aruna. Aruna, would you want to unmute and ask?
Shriram, go ahead. I'm not having a very good throat.
Sure, can do that for you. Okay, so the question from Aruna is inspiring journey. Of course, that's the comment. And as women entrepreneurs, what are the changes, both positive and negative, that you have observed in the ecosystem from the time you started to the present day? Who would love to take?
Payal.
All right. So I would say from the times that we started, Aruna, there were a lot of limitations. Like Priyanka mentioned, the younger generation is more keen. I would say more outgoing, more driven. They are willing to make more sacrifices than we were. We always, also maybe because we started quite late, and these younger generation is more responsive in terms of taking action immediately, traveling wherever they have to. So this is the positive I see. And I would say our generation had the consistency, persistence. Our times we would give a lot of value to growing, accumulating knowledge, doing the research, doing the hard work behind everything. So I think the only change that I see now is that risk aversion is not there. They're more risk adaptive, I would say. Women entrepreneurs, the stage I think is better now. The stage for women entrepreneurs is much better now. The acceptability of women in each field in life is much, much better. In typically the male oriented industries, also, women are making inroads. I have a friend who's into mining now. So she's probably the only one in India right now. So I think the stage is much better. So this is the right time. Priyanka, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think what has also happened is, in a way, COVID times helped us in many ways. So, in terms of the ecosystem, I think even women who were not able to step out of the house are very comfortable earning in dollars, working at night. I mean, they are fine. They are able to do that. Those kind of opportunities have opened up. Again, me too. This is pretty exactly what you said. If it's an obstacle, there's an opportunity there, right behind, hiding there. So I think that has definitely moved. Secondly, I think that I find that. I don't know whether it's really that there's so much more conversations around investing. There is so much more, and you search for funding or any kind of a thing, one word. The algorithms are such that your phone is going to be flooded with such like conversations. So information availability is, you don't have
Yeah.
to seek it; it comes to you. So I think in that sense, I mean, for whether it's government, we realized so many, there are these government policies and funding and all that's happening. State governments are coming up with helping women. So I think the whole narrative has just completely shifted. I think everybody realizes, whether it's the buzzword or they realize that gets them votes, or really the mindset is shifting. I'm not going to comment on any of that. But the fact does remain that these conversations are happening in all the right corridors about helping women grow. So I think that is something beautiful. In terms of negative, I think no. I think it's great. People are providing them the space, and women are just very happy to come in and claim that space that was rightfully theirs. So I don't see something like a negative shift.
Thank you for that, Priyanka and Payal. Thank you, Arnav, for that question. I know both of you have a hard stop. Both of you have another engagement starting right after this meeting. There's another question. Would you want to take that? Is that something that can do? So the
Sure,
question
sure.
is from Raja Jabir, and the question is, what's your process in finding the right organizations to pitch your services? And what are your tips in the first pitch meeting? That's some trade secret that you want us to share.
Can you just repeat that for a minute?
The
Sorry.
question is, what is your process in finding the right organizations to pitch your services? And what are your tips in the first pitch meeting?
Yeah, we struggle with that at times. But to be honest, I think what has always worked for us is word of mouth. There has been nothing better than that, I feel, because you go with a certain credibility, it works. But there, when it's word of mouth, then you don't really have to make a pitch because somebody else has already done it for you. But aside from that, I think what really works for us is to go onto LinkedIn. We've been exploring the Sales Navigator to just start there, and one learns. So if there's somebody who's an HR head who's just recently shifted, so we know that this person, whoever has moved to a different role or has grown, so he'd be the right person for us to reach out to, because anybody who's just recently moved, they want to prove their mettle. And I think they're also more open to some new faces. They're happy to explore. In terms of what do we talk about in the first pitch, I think it's about, again, saying that trying to understand, trying to read up their company, what are they talking about, maybe pull out some magic words from there and use them in our conversation. But more importantly, I think we are also happy to do something like a short conversation or with their teammates, even pro bono. So I think that's only a fair thing. that somebody who has no experience of us as a trainer or as even a coach, we are happy to just, or even in the content, Payal spoke about our content business, that we are happy to provide like a trust call or a sampling call or a sampling session or a to build trust. I hope that answers. Yeah, Johnny, saw your hand.
Yes, John, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, just wanted to share a word of mouth while Priyanka spoke about it. I started my coaching journey, about one-on-one coaching journey, which is doing extremely well right now, with my coach Priyanka. I had a coaching session with Priyanka, and I wanted to acknowledge that breakthrough that I had with the session with her. It was a paid coaching session, and thank you, Priyanka, for that. And I
Thank you
thought I
so
must share
much,
that.
Johnny. I don't know whether I was able to really help or things just happened so beautifully. I think it's also, I mean, you take value from, I mean, anything and everything. So, but yes, thank you so much for acknowledging and thank you for trusting and calling me that day. I remember it very, very vividly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Johnny.
this is how word of mouth. This is how word of mouth works.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming from someone like you who's been the face of many chapters in Chennai, I think this is good enough testimonial. But thank you so much. Thanks everyone for being a part of this evening. Thank you, Meetu, for
Yeah, we'll
orchestrating
take
it so
away to
beautifully
take
well.
pictures,
We
otherwise,
have to, yes, I know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, before we wind up, I'm going to request all of you to, if possible, please switch on your cameras. We would love to capture this moment. So have your best smile on, and whenever you're ready, we are good to go. All right. And I'm guessing the rest of you will switch on your cameras. On the count of three, please have your smile on. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Payal and Priyanka, for accepting our
Oh.
invite and joining us. It's been an amazing evening hearing you people. While for me, it can be a repeat of sorts, but I think it's just amazing to hear you every time. For many of us, you've been a torchbearer of sorts. So thank you once again, all you lovely people, for joining in. I hope you enjoyed today evening, and we'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the evening, and happy Women's Day to all of you again. And until we meet the next time, please take care and see you soon in another meeting from the ICF Chennai Charter Chapter. Good evening, all of you.
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.